Welcome to Tech Talk Africa by Do It Technology, the show where African founders share how they are building powerful solutions and driving meaningful changes across the continent. Innovation, impact, and Africa's future unlocked. Today, I'm going to be your host, Ivy Gatemu, and our guest is Anthony Mukuriah, the CEO and founder of Do It Technology. Anthony, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Ivy. Thank you for having me.
So, Anthony, can you introduce us to Do It Technology and the vision behind it?
Yes, I can. So, Do It Technology was formed with the idea to provide funding for innovative African tech startups that are actually providing solutions that are aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, such as ending poverty, providing gender equality, providing quality education, providing clean energy, some of the examples. So, Do Technology is an acronym that stands for Directly Uplifting Individuals Through Technology. Mm-hmm. And so the vision behind it is exactly that, to bridge the gap of funding between tech startups and investors.
Wow, that's a nice vision. And what's the problem in Africa startup ecosystem are you trying to solve right now with the African innovators?
The main problem we're trying to solve in the African tech ecosystem is the problem of funding when it comes to African tech startups. So the African tech startups normally wait a long period of time before they receive the funding from accelerators or incubators. It usually takes them like months. And by the time they receive the funding, well, sometimes it's not even guaranteed for them to receive the funding, and they actually die young. So Do It Technology was basically formed with the idea to make sure they receive the funding on time. And that's how the app Invest in Africa was formed.
Oh, wow. So the flagship of this is your answer for this solution is Invest in Africa app.
Yes.
So this Invest in Africa app, what makes it unique to these African people?
What makes the Invest in Africa app unique is that innovative African tech startups are able to receive funding from local investors. This could be investors in Nairobi, Cape Town, Lagos, as well as global investors. This could be investors in New York, London, or Beijing, and they are basically able to fund these tech startups by a press of a button. And not only are they able to receive funding, they're also able to have access to co-working spaces. So these are spaces where they can go work together and meet like-minded people. And through the app, they're also able to get service providers who provide them with legal advice, financial advice, and also they can have access to business mentors. And also through the platform, they can post jobs in order for them to fetch new talent. So the Invest in Africa app basically has encompassed the entire tech ecosystem onto an app.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. And why do you believe African startups need a platform like this? Because we have many great minds, and the innovation here is very key. And also being different, it's key in when it comes to the innovators. So tell us, why do you need a platform like this? Why the African startups need this?
African tech startups and scale-ups need a platform like this because it's much easier for them to receive funding, unlike the old traditional methods where they had to wait for so long. Through the Invest in Africa app, basically they can receive the funding in a short period of time, and they can have access to, again, co-working spaces and business mentors who will guide them once they receive the funding to make sure that they not only survive, but they thrive.
Oh, okay. And you've mentioned traditional funding models, yeah? And what makes your approach different from traditional funding models?
What makes my approach different from old traditional methods is that basically the tech startups will receive funding in a short amount of time, and they're easily showcased to investors who are global, which is a good thing. And again, once they receive the funding, they're able to utilize it well by having access to our service providers and also working with like-minded people in the spaces we provide. And they're also able to fetch new talent through the app.
All right. And what are some of the biggest challenges founders face in accessing this funding?
Some of the biggest challenges the tech startups and scale-ups face when it comes to accessing funding is that basically when it comes to incubators and accelerators, it takes them a long period of time. So it normally takes them like months. And by the time they've gotten the funding, which is not even guaranteed, they're in a situation where they're already dying. And that's why a lot of tech startups have died in the tech ecosystem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you give us, like, for example, maybe you've met one of these founders and you heard their cry? Do you have an example where maybe you're just in an event, or maybe you're just minding your business, maybe in your car, you're fueling your car, and you just had someone like, I have this business and I'm not getting funds from these people. Have you ever heard from anywhere, just for an example?
I mean, from the groundwork I've done, I've had a lot of tech startups complain about how long it takes them to receive the funding from incubators and accelerators. And they've also said, like, they don't get why they have to go through their programs when the people who are offering the programs don't even understand the solution they're providing.
Okay.
So for the tech startups, they actually want to receive the funding like yesterday. And yeah, that's why the Invest in Africa app will actually work for them.
All right, that's nice. And how does DUIT bridge the gap between the startups and the investors?
So DUIT bridges the gap between the startups and the investors through the Invest in Africa platform. So through the Invest in Africa platform, the innovative African tech startups and scale-ups are easily showcased to investors globally, and the investors are able to invest in these tech startups according to the industry that they want to invest in.
All right. And where do you see DUIT technology in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see DUIT technology having impacted a lot of innovative African tech startups and scale-ups by making sure they receive the funding they need. And by that, a lot of the UN Sustainable Development Goals will be solved.
Okay. And what's your message to these African founders and investors listening today?
The message to investors and African founders listening today is that the future is being built right here on the Invest in Africa app. So I invite you all to come and join us and be part of the Invest in Africa community, where a new earth is being born.
This has been Tech Talk Africa, a production of DUIT Technology. Subscribe for more conversation with the founders transforming Africa through innovation. See you in the next episode.